Was back to another episode 10. Man, man, you got me, myself, Los Angeles Street Vlog, boy, Boo Boy, and you got my dog, Flo. Yeah.
What's good, people? How y'all feeling tonight, man? What's up, JB? What's up, Flawless?
Lab, how y'all doing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Without no further ado, we're gonna jump right into it. Our first topic is Elon Musk says in the future money won't matter. Man, Boo Boy, what you think about that?
I mean, shit, they kind of been gave us that idea that it was coming. I mean, if you think about Bitcoin and crypto, they've been trying to make this a digital game so they can do what they do when they want, digitally. We got less access because everything is done from computer. Physical money is a different thing. You can't tell me I can't do what I want with this 20K when I got this 20K in cash. But I got this 20K on a card and some machine, some computer just number saying that I got this, then they can play and do what they want with that. But I feel like that all gonna result to population control, my same one too. Population. When they can control our funds at the press of a button, then it's a different control. Can't do nothing when your cash got value. But once that cash don't have no value, we control your financial state with a press of a button. That's a different outlook for me, man. But that's my take on that, brother.
Wow, what's up, Thump? JC, what you think?
Thinking, like Boot Boy say, they've been telling us this was gonna happen. I think is getting us prepared for what the future gonna be with the AI and stuff. Because how they saying the reason why it's gonna happen is because goods and services gonna be abundant. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't got to worry about humans necessarily doing all the labor work. So all our needs that we have money for will already be met. And they got other processes of like machines building houses. So houses might become $30,000 for a 6 bedroom. You know what I'm saying? So in that type of scenario, son, I kind of think it'll be better because then you can build more houses for people, even homeless people. So I'm really for it.
Whoa, what's up, Jay?
Man, I missed the very beginning of what the topic is.
Elon Musk says in the future money won't matter.
Oh man, that's what he's saying, but I don't believe that's ever gonna happen because they got too many rich people out here who don't want everybody else to be rich. There's too many people with money who trying to make sure we don't have money. So nah, I don't think that'll ever happen because that's gonna cause a whole lot of chaos. I mean, ideally, when you think about it, that's how it might seem like that would end up happening and being inevitable based on AI and that type of stuff. But it the world runs on like finance and there's a global economy. You know what I'm saying? It's a global economy, so there's no way. Yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, yeah. So I say the same, dog. I don't think money ain't gonna never go away. Even the physical paper money, go away, it's gonna still be some type of. It's gonna still have some type of currency. Currency will never go away. The barter system gonna be around to the last day. Stocks and bonds. Shout out Thump. Yeah, So, and I feel like this: if money go away, how people acquire the things they need. And at that point, if you want something, if you want a house, the only way you will be able to get it is if you build it. What you gonna give those people who come and build a house for you? You hear me? So yeah, that's what I think. Anybody else got something to say?
I
Yeah.
mean, but
When
if you pay, go ahead, JC.
I'm gonna say whenever he say money won't matter, he talking about your basic needs, not necessarily if you want to drive a BMW or a Lamborghini. Of course, you're gonna have to work and you know what I'm saying to be able to afford that. But your needs that you need to survive gonna basically already be met through like the AI or the robots or whatnot. You won't need to worry about how you're gonna eat, your shelter, things of that nature. You might not be able to, if you choose to not work or something, you're not gonna be able to drive a luxury car, but you still gonna have transportation. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, hey, look, boo boy, you can go. I just want to say this. So basically, you saying we're gonna achieve world order. Basically, everybody got their basic needs. You got a house, you got food, you got a car. You just don't have luxury items. That's what you saying.
Right, right. It's gonna be basically like a universal income to where your basic needs is gonna already be met without you having to have a job.
All right. So you don't got no job. Who gonna fund this? How is it gonna be funded? Who gonna fund this for everybody in the world?
Well, at
In
that
the
point,
country.
it's
In
gonna
the
take
country.
the riches of the world to redistribute their wealth. So if like let's say the job market with transportation, if you don't need no humans driving goods and services to grocery stores, you don't need humans stocking the grocery stores, that need will already be met by, you know what I'm saying, whoever controlling this system. So us as humans, we won't necessarily have to worry about like inflation won't be a problem. It'll be deflation will be the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Bet. Okay. Boo boy, what you think?
I mean, that's like I said, population control with me, man. At the end of the day, if they, if just let's just say hypothetically, they implemented the system, found success in the system that JC speak of. Them same folks got the power to cut our food supply when they choose to. So that means if they choose to starve Sector 6, however they classify Sector 6 gonna starve, no food, no yeah. Now we back to the how we gonna get it, how we gonna survive. Me coming into your house, taking your food. The same survival tactics that we know that they trying to avoid. At the end of the day, it's all about population control to me. They want to have control of every aspect of our life. That way, therefore, we become robots to life. We depend on them for everything, basic and beyond. We gotta go to them and get their permission. When if currency remain what currency is, we can do, and we our money gonna show our work, our value, our understanding of what we. You make $1 million hard earned cash, that shows your character and what you understand about business. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's just about dumbing us down in another form. To me, if they did that, if they implemented that lifestyle to us, it's like you giving us no purpose to live at that point. It's all about fun and what you want to do in your own personal time. When it's like life is not just about let me go do what I want to do today. You know, but that's my take on that.
You want to say something, Jay? Right,
You miss.
right. See, you know, see, if money go away, he would have paid hand to hand money. The business type things with other countries. Yeah, I feel like about
Repeat your question. We can't hear you. Your mic chopping. Repeat your question.
I see other countries.
You say what about the business type aspect in other countries?
Look at the screen. It's on the screen. It's from the comments.
It'll affect the change with all the other countries as well. If what Elon Musk is talking about, it'll be a global shift. It won't just be one country going through this.
Basically, how JC sum it up from Elon's point of view, it'll be a universal submission. Everybody, like you said, implementing new world order, because it will be a new world order. All currency is gonna go to one, and they determine the outcome of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have no control on what we want to do. If we want to go buy a car, we really have no control over our currency at that point, our financial state, because they supplying our daily needs, so they determine when we make the ultimate, purchases. Like, oh no, you don't need that right now, and it's like, how you gonna tell me what I need? But at the same time, you're providing me my lifestyle, so how can I argue with who pays my bills? You know,
Nah, I don't know. I just don't see that, man. I feel like they gonna always need a currency, man. Money, it's been a way to pay each other since the beginning of time. You gonna have to pay to the end of time. It ain't gonna change. But I mean, if we done with that one, we'll move on to the next one. You hear me? So the next topic of the night is having a career versus having a job. Boo boy, talk to me.
I mean, it just depends on the individual and what type of lifestyle they seek. But most 9 to 5s require time out your day showing up, and some 9 to 5s require a little bit more time than others. But careers, that requires a lot of your family time. That requires you to be committed to the job and not the purpose of life, being fruitful, multiplied, marriage, a family, seeing your kids go through life and become adults. It's like you gotta, for example, FBI agents, CIA agents, DEA, those type of folks gotta commit to their career before they family. They boss could call in the middle of the night and they gotta get up and go to work. Why? Salary. Whether you on or off the clock, your contract say you move, so move. You know what I'm saying? So personally, I think, careers is cool for those folks, but the average person should want to just get a nice job to where it can solidify what they need in life and not live outside their means. A lot of us live outside our means and we don't understand what it takes to, abstain that lifestyle. But we start resorting to a whole lot of nonsense to keep that, because that's what we didn't got in life and we want to stay there, not understanding the ills that comes if all this go away. You know what I'm saying? You got to pre-plan and understand. You know what I'm saying? Everything won't work, even if you map it down to the T. Everything won't work, but you got to understand before you even made that plan that everything you put on that paper won't work. But can you adapt to how it's gonna work? So I prefer a job over a career because you still retire one way or the other with a decent something on you. And that's my opinion.
Jay, what you think? JC.
Agree with what Boot Boy said. A career, for you to have a career, it take time for you to get that skill. If you want to be a doctor, it's gonna take you 12 years to get that license before you even start being able to be a doctor. Versus a 9 to 5, if you wanted to be a truck driver, you know what I'm saying? You can start making money right then and there. So it all depends on, what you want out of life and how hard you're willing to work for it. And that's what I think about that.
Jay, you there? Well, I feel like, man, I prefer a career, dog. After 40, 50 years, you know what I mean? I feel like having a job, you gonna work your ass off every day in the same position over and over. I had jobs, plenty of jobs. Every day you go to work, you got a reason that you're going. You get promoted, you got something to show for. You get benefits, you got something that like you feel. I'm a little better. I sound better. I sound better. Got something to show
You was,
for.
now you back chopping. Now you back chopping. It's like auto tune type. Yeah, we can kind of make out what you're saying.
Make sure you muted. Just make sure you muted. I'm gonna fix it. All right, I'm better now. All right, so yeah, I prefer a career over a job. A job, you gonna work your ass off for 40 years, never get nowhere, never have nothing to show from it. A career, you can actually get promoted. You can climb that ladder. I feel like anybody who started working today, you should be working to get 6 positions ahead of where you start. If you start as a laborer, you should be working to get up to fucking district manager, CEO, whatever the fuck you can obtain, go get more. Like if you working 40 years in the same position, what was the progress? What was the like working a job ain't as simple as I'm doing it to get a paycheck. You working a job also to have a purpose in life. Like to have you doing what you getting paid for and is actually a purpose behind it. You can feel like you worked it at work. You know what I mean? Like compared to a fucking janitor. You know what I'm saying? A janitor, what is you doing? Compared to a basic laborer, you got to look up to the manager. You should have been working to be the manager. That's just how I see it. You know what I mean? Y'all got something of that?
Uh,
I
I
mean,
think you're conflating the job with low pay. You got blue collar jobs that could pay you more than white collar jobs. So if you wanted to be a crane operator, you're doing the same task every day, but you can clear $200,000 doing that type of job. You know what I'm saying? So I
Right.
think it
But if
depends
you
on what
started
type
at,
of job.
if you trying to get up to 40, I don't think if you work around the same pay that you started, like it's so many jobs
some
you
people,
can climb
some
the
people,
line, you can go pay your
some people don't look to elevate in life. Some people be content with a regular crib or apartment, a car to drive, and a way to pay their bills and be able to spend money on what they want. Some people don't look to be house owners in life. Some people just look to be comfortable in life. Some folks don't want to climb up the ladder because they come with too much stress in life. Everybody can't be a boss. Everybody can't be a supervisor. Everybody can't bring structure to a facility or a system that's already being operated. Everybody don't harness that ability nor that characteristic. That's why you get dick bosses in careers or regular jobs. That's why you get these ignorant people in these good positions to dictate how they want to do what they want to do based off of that type of situation right there. You know what I'm saying? Like it just don't make sense to me. I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, everybody got a place, and some people don't want those headaches, those abilities. You might be big enough and man enough to take that. You can be a CEO of a company, but you can look me in my eyes and tell me as a man, can't know anybody be a CEO of a company. So everybody can't have that. Everybody can't have that as a goal of theirs, is all I'm saying.
Nah,
Those
I
type
look
of
in your eyes and tell you anybody can be a CEO of a company. All you got to do is want to do it, and you can do it. Anybody can do anything you put your mind to it. You hear me? So I look you
So
dead in your eyes and tell you anybody can do this. All they got
this
to
the
do is
thing
want
though.
to do it.
This the thing. Whenever whatever job you got, you gonna get a raise. So the longer you stay in your field, the higher pay that you gonna get. So even if, and I think the issue is, even if you are a janitor, that means something to that company, and you should be able to make enough money for a good living being a janitor if that's all you want. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, and if everybody was bosses, who gonna be the employees? And every employee not gonna be paying enough money for people to
All
be
right, wait,
bosses.
wait, wait, real quick. Let me explain that. Now let's get to that. I feel like younger people should be working at regular jobs. Like people just getting in a job field, younger people trying to get experience. They starting from somewhere. Older people should be in the positions of manager and shit. The ones that's older than them should be the ones in positions of district manager, CEO. But in this case, you got to have more businesses. That goes back to what I was saying yesterday. More people need to invest their money into something worth it rather than just going splurge. If we stop making the corporations rich, we would be rich. You know what I mean?
I agree to that ending part of that statement. If we did stop buying into their bullshit, we can keep our money. If Gucci, Fendi, and Prada didn't mean shit to us, we could keep some money. If having diamond gold grills and diamond teeth and bust down watches and rings, you right, totally agree. But we didn't create the system. We just trying to find a ways to break it. Is less men like you in the world and more men like them. It's less women that think like that in the world and more women like them in the world. If everybody moved and thought how you just said that, brother, I swear we would be in position to what we calling these shots how you say. But they so hypnotized by material things. Everybody is not material driven, but the majority is. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
I said, Jay, I was talking, Jay, you there? I bet we're gonna move on to the next topic. You know what I mean? So the next, yeah, the next topic is
LA, was that next topic again? Hey, so I think the next topic was gonna be who has the last say in a relationship or marriage? You want to speak on it first, Jason?
I'm thinking traditionally the man have the last say so, and I think but I think me personally, I think it should be a combined effort between the two parents, not necessarily if your wife saying, "Hey, I want to do this, and I think it should go this way," and you have an opposite opinion, I think both should hear each other out. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, somebody got to be the one that make the final decision, and each person have to be okay with the outcome, no matter what the outcome is. So if the man got to have the final say so, and the outcome don't end up successful, the woman can't hold bitterness to the man. You know what I'm saying? But also, the man should have insight to know when his woman advice is right. You know what I'm saying? Or sound better than what he was thinking. So I think it should be like a joint effort, but the man should have the final say so. But but I don't think it should be like a dictatorship to where it's like, even if I'm leading us down the wrong path, and each decision that I'm making ending us up into a ditch somewhere or whatever. Like at a certain point, it's gonna be like, where you leading us? You know what I'm saying? So I
Right,
think
right,
it takes
right.
both though.
Right, right. Okay, what you think, Boo?
I mean, I think unfortunately a lot of men not leaders these days, and that's an whole other topic. We could talk about that another time. I ain't gonna get into that right now. But um for the real men that is leaders, I feel like they should have the final say when it comes to what's really going on. Because a real man should be a provider and a protector, most of all, first, before anything. And coming with providing and protecting is understanding sometimes you're going to fail, but you got to maneuver better. You got to learn from your lessons. Yeah, you're not going to know everything, so you will lead your woman blind, your children blind from time to time. But that comes with the experience because now you know better, they know better. Only a fool fell. A fool change. I mean, a fool remain the same. A man change. It's lessons learned and a lot. So with that being said, yeah, a man should have all say. Cause structure from the biblical standpoint is God, Christ, man, woman, then child. So if a real man is in your life and a real man haven't showed you that he's leading you into harm's way, you should let that man take the wheel and not be so, you know, back and forth with them on it all. Why? Everything you shouldn't have to know everything just off of explanation or need to know basis. It's like I didn't lead you wrong. Why does why matter? If I really have to give you an explanation that's different, but just for I want to know purposes, that's not necessary. But that's only for the real men, in my opinion. They got a lot of phonies in position. But that's my opinion on that.
Right, right, right. So I'm a back door. I'm gonna say, nah. Look, if you're in a relationship with a woman, or if you're a woman, you're in a relationship with a man, he should give you the say so. Like you should have an opinion. But I'm traditional though. I feel like at the end of the day, man, look, dog. I mean, I'm gonna make the best decision for us. Like you got an opinion, I'm gonna take it into full consideration. If it's better than what I'm thinking, we're gonna go with it. But if I'm leaning this way, you gonna have to and I mean history will tell the time like to that woman if she should trust that man, you know, like that's how I see it. Everybody got their own lane, dog. When it comes to it, some people rather work side by side. I work side by side with mine, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna make the best decision for us though. I'm gonna make sure that we straight. Like you ain't gotta even don't step out there worrying about that because you might stress about it. I might stress about it too, but I'm gonna pull it through. So you go ahead and just chill. Jay, you there? You wanna say something?
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I say the final say should go to the man, but ultimately it should be like mutual. But if you married, the decision should be mutual. But But the modern women, they kind of violent. So you got to be careful when you disagree. They kind of violent. They like to rule with an iron fist now. So just take that into consideration whenever you make your decisions. Yeah, ultimately, the man should be the final decision maker.
Homegirl DV. Hey, yeah, so look, boom. All right, for sure. Look, we're gonna move on to the next topic. It's just a good, you hear me? Does body count matter in a relationship slash marriage? You hear me? Man, Jay, you wanna say something? JC, what you think about it?
think in the relationship it matters. Maybe to men in a relationship, it would matter if a woman's body count too high, and I think maybe to women it'll matter if the man's is too low. Because a woman would want a man that has some type of experience or whatever, and a man would want to be able to teach his woman. You know what I'm saying? So I think if y'all trying to be in a relationship that leads to marriage, it matters.
Boo, what you think?
I think body counts matters on both sides. I mean, at the end of the day, to JC point, a woman only want to experience man because she's experiencing some nature. If both of us don't know what we're doing and we going blind, no matter how it turn out, it's the best thing ever to us because we never did it before. But I feel like body counts matter on both sides of the fence. Because if we really sat down and told women our true body count and they told us theirs, we would probably never fuck with each other. You know, even if theirs are low and ours is high, or ours is high and theirs are low, somebody gonna say no, and because at the end of the day, everybody's more sexually active than usual these days for sure. When we was growing up, same shit. We was a little bit more sexual active at a younger age than we should have been. You know what I'm saying? So your body count does matter, but it's up to the maturity of that person to understand whether they're going to accept that or not, whether they with that or not. I feel like that's to every person's discretion. If you slept with 100 people, then it's up to that woman to determine if she want to be with you because you that experienced. What if she only slept with two? She don't want no man that's super duper experienced on her because she not used to that world. But if a woman that slept with at least 10 men, she can deal with a man on that level because she done been shown different aspects of the sexual game. She done had good sessions and bad. So she got something to compare something to. A woman with no experience don't know what to look for. Therefore, it's just an experience to her. A man, same shit. No, you don't know what to look for. It's just an experience. But when we put it on the table, everybody should be able to put their body count on the table truthfully and leave that up to the other person to decide where they go. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion.
I mean, I guess it's up to the person, dog. I guess it's up to the person. I mean, I guess everybody would prefer a person with a low body count, but I mean, these days, would you ever know the truth? Would you ever know the truth? Honestly.
That's why I said if we be truthful, if we really sat down and looked each other in the face, I had a real conversation, man, woman, woman and woman, man and man, wherever your preference is. If you sit down with that other significant other, and had a true conversation with them about what you have done, confess your sins to that person, yeah, that person wouldn't look at you how that person would look at you, and I wouldn't look at that person how I look at that person. And that's just the reality of. But like you said, the world we live in now is a little bit different. The true body count will never be exposed because a man don't want to be seem like he's super duper. active, sexually active, and a woman don't, her numbers never go to double digits. So you know the game we play with each other to get what we want from each other. But my bad for cutting y'all.
JC, you want to say anything?
It kind of remind me of, Brittany Renner ended up doing a podcast. I think it was with Shannon Sharp. It might have been Cam Newton, but she revealed that she slept with over 30 people or whatever. And everybody kind of blew that out of proportion to where it's like, man, you a hoe type of deal. So, I think the body count matters, especially for if a woman's body count is too high. I think society look at them a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And even if a man's body count is too high, some women will be like they a hoe. That's why when you look at like P stars, they usually only get in a relationship that lasts with other P stars. Because most people can't handle you having a body count in the hundred in the triple digits.
Right. Bet, look, we're gonna move on to the next topic. Does the female income matter in a relationship or a marriage? Boo boy, what you think?
I mean, personally, I think it doesn't. I think every real man that
What was that? Where you at? Well, say Jay, you want to say something?
put in the steps to get where they going. Got truthfully, but I'm gonna show you how to spend it wisely. I'm not gonna just let you blow the bag just because. It's times when you can, but it's times when you can't. It's understanding. It's called money management. Teach her money management, but I don't feel like a woman income is necessary in a household. Even when you go for retirement, like me and JC was discussing earlier. You know what I'm saying? If you view the game how LA said it as a child, you work job for job and understand. But once you become a certain age and you cross a certain threshold, you're not looking for any type of job no more. You're looking for a job with safety nets, something you can really put 10, 15 years into and know I can get something out of that with or without anybody on the side of me. Because even if you have a family, understand your family, your kids gotta go. Then that house got it. That 4 3 4 bedroom house you becomes a castle. It becomes a mansion because it's just you and baby in there. Now we got all these extra rooms for what? We need to downsize. I'm tired of walking all the way over there for nothing. So now we can afford the way to live off of what I done earned in life, what she done accumulated, what I done paid for. This house, this vehicle, that. It's called investing. You put money here and there for a safety net later. You don't know what the future might hold. It might fall off how JC said it earlier. So well, the common way of life is gave to us. We don't need to do these things. Then all we working for now won't matter. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about a safety net, understanding one day you gotta get old. One day you gotta stop. What you gonna do when you stop? So that's why you put your eggs in different baskets as a young man. And when you're an old man, you select your motherfucking lane and you stick to it. Once you get a certain age, ain't no such thing as job hopping like that. You got to take that motherfucker out. You got to take the long haul until something else presents itself to you. But I don't think a woman income should matter in your household. If you gonna live a certain way, that woman gonna live off of the way you live, your means. From a broke man to average living to a little bit above that advanced, and then the most, top tier. A woman gonna live off of her man. If a man ain't shit, she don't want to be shit. If a man top tier, she gonna want to present herself top tier because this is what's around her. She gotta hold a standard because he hold a standard. So she don't need an income. She just need to be a safe haven. peace. I could go challenge the world and come home to you and you just, hey baby, it's all right. Let me rub your feet, fix you something to eat. Why? Because you done provided her shelter and understanding, a place where she can be her, and you can come back and be broken and she fix it. But that's my opinion on that, man.
All right, bet. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say I feel like, yeah, man, that woman. I don't know what to say. I feel like this. My wife gonna spend all my money anyway, so I really don't even know like what to say. So I guess I'm simping like a motherfucker. So J JC, what you got?
You can, in a general sense, I think it matters because in these modern times that we in, it takes two incomes to make it. And you gotta be putting up for retirement. And just one man making average money, you're not making enough to take care of the family, all your responsibilities as a man, and then still save money for when you can't work no more. So even if the woman not contributing anything, the money that she is making gonna eventually be something that you rely on. So I think it matters at the end of the day. And when you talk about because Kevin Samuels was bringing this was kind of opening people's eyes to understand that a housewife is few in between. You know what I'm saying? Most people have two parents that go to work. You know, just to be able to sit home is a luxury, and very few men is able to afford that luxury. You know what I'm saying? And just because let's say you wanted to be a city bus driver and you making $70,000 a year, you by yourself as a single man, that's good enough. But you can't raise a family off of that salary and put up what you need to in the future. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna take both of y'all coming together, lower your expenses, and like Boot Boy was saying, your lifestyle. If you caring about Gucci, Prada, and all of that, you're not gonna make it. If you working a job at the plant, you can't afford to keep up with the Joneses, and then plan for your retirement and all of that. So at the end of the day, it used to be back in the day, a man could go work at General Motors and be able to support his family. His wife could stay home. But today, when how money loses its value over time and inflation and all of that, yeah, today a household need two incomes to make it. So I think it matters at the end, especially for average people. And that's my thoughts on that.
Right. I mean, I agree to a certain extent, but I still say it's subjective. It's to the person's discretion on based off of their situation. Me personally, I wouldn't even claim to say that I'm up in life, man. I just been blessed, dog. I ain't gonna tell. I've been blessed, and I appreciate that blessing from God every day. You hear me? So, Boot Boy, what you got something to say on that?
Yeah, man. I mean, really, it just lead me to ask a question. And it's really for JC, but at least if you want to give your intake on it, it could be for you too. But are you an individual that think a woman should go 50-50? Fuck.
Uh, to me, I think it depends on the individual relationship. Me personally, how I would want things, I would want it traditional to where I can afford to where my wife income don't matter. But realistically, it do. You know what I'm saying? And I would need her help, you know what I'm saying? And not necessarily to pay the bills or whatever, but what about the food? Or what about if the kids need this? You know what I'm saying? Or am I supposed to be putting gas in the car every single time we going out somewhere? Or if she need to bring the kids somewhere, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna take a give and a pull for for a relationship to make it. You know what I'm saying? And even if you are going 50-50 with your woman, I don't think that that should devalue you as a man or take away your authority in a relationship. You know, if me and you paying the bills 50-50 and we still progressing off of my decision making, then you should still align with what I say at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it make you less of a man if your woman helping you out.
Come on. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I can say more. You know, I mean, I thought you was gonna say something on the topic. Your mic was a little choppy, but I mean, shit. I mean, that's to some discretion. I mean, like I guess it goes back to LA point. It's subjective, because yeah, when my woman need a new vehicle, I'm supposed to find a mean to go provide it. Yeah, when it's time to put gas in the car, every time I send it to you. Here, take my card. Yeah, every time it's time to get something to eat. Why? Because that's what you are providing for. Society is hard, but as a man, you should understand money management, even if that woman don't. Just because I'm not buying you what you want right now doesn't mean I can't afford it. It just mean it wouldn't be strategic for me to do it now, and then I gotta dig myself deeper out of this hole. Money. My woman having worked for over 7 years, JC. I've been having my crib and yeah, over 10 years with her. You know what I'm saying? Back and forth over 10 years with this. So look, what I'm saying is a man can do it if he put his pride aside to do it. A man don't need no help when it comes to how he gonna live his life. That woman is a benefit to his life. I'm not saying nothing is wrong with a woman working. If that's what your situation is agreed to, because that's what it is. But I feel no woman should have to at any point in a relationship or a marriage. Because if you took a woman on at that point, you were willing to put you have sexual intercourse with that woman and possibly have a baby, that means you're willing to take care of her and what comes with her. So if you're
Right.
taking it
Okay,
to that
okay.
degree, that's what I give on that.
Okay, bet. Jay, you want to say something back or you want to move on?
Real quick, I'm gonna say, I agree with what you're saying in a sense of being traditional and trying to make it, but you also got to understand, like you say, the pressures of society. If you the man and you doing all of it, if you paying every single thing from the college tuition to the sporting activities to the transportation to the food, if you're not making upwards of $300,000 a year, you're not gonna have enough money at the end of retirement to even live to 80 years old. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, your wife income gonna matter. And if your wife is making $40,000 a year to what she could just put it up and you taking care of everything, even for the 40 years that y'all together, once retirement hit and you depending on the money that she done save, at that point her money matters.
Okay. Bet. Well, look, we gonna move. Let's talk about homelessness and what y'all think about that? Boo ball, what you think about that?
You said, huh?
Homelessness in America.
Um,
You can hear me?
yeah, I can hear you better now. You clear, way clear now. But I heard what you said. Homelessness in America. What I think about it. I think, I think, in a sense, in reality, it's messed up, and we could do better. But on the other side of that, I think it's necessary to show people what levels of life really is. It's like you can have it all and you can fall off of who you trying to be in life, who you decide to follow, your influences. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's messed up. I feel like we as a people, as a country, as a unit, or globally can do better when it comes to how we deal and treat them and meet their needs and all that, help them. Because all these buildings we got just sitting there, nobody, these folks can live in that, can be a part of that, can, but they rather, it's a lot that can be done with that. But on the other side, like I said, I feel it's still necessary for the reality of life. Because you can have it all and lose it all tomorrow and be that. You can go from this luxurious lifestyle to that man in a cardboard box. It's just the levels of life and your ambition, your drive, your hunger, your desire, your security net, what you want to make sure won't happen to you despite who with you or around you. So yeah, I feel it's messed up and we could do better, but I feel it's a necessity, brother, in my own opinion. And that's my take on that.
JC, what you think?
I think it is a problem, and they said most homeless people suffer from some type of mental illness. So not counting the people that's on drugs or just had bad luck and could eventually get it back, but the people that have some type of mental deficiency to where they stuck like that. You know what I'm saying? I think it's something that we should be able to do to help that growing population. And like
Right,
Boot Boy
right.
said, understanding that, hey, one day you could be living high on the hog and one day you could be on the streets. So when you are up, do what you can to try to help a person that's in that type of position.
Man, I feel like I ain't gonna lie. I feel like this. I live in LA, right? So once you walk outside, you see some shit. No cap. Now check this out. They got some people out there that mentally ill, like they toe up. You know what I mean? They need professional help. They got some people out there that's going through addiction. You know what I mean? I mean, really toe up, like need professional help. But then I'm gonna tell you the raw truth. They got some people out there that leave their homes and go on the street, you know what I mean? And live on the street in a tent because they want to. Man, right here in the guard, man, look, I go do homeless content. I have ran across multiple people, multiple times, that's going to leave their home because they don't want to pay bills and go live in a tent on Skid Row or in front of the fucking bodega. You hear me? Like real, I'm telling you the truth. But then there is mentally ill people. There is people that's facing addiction. They got even people that's not mentally ill or facing addiction. They regular people that just had a tough break. You hear me? Like they really just missed the paycheck. Landlord wasn't playing, and they had to go. Then they didn't have the money for a security deposit. They ain't had the money for to turn the electricity on. So they ended up outside. Like that's just what they had to do. Like I go film the homeless. I work with the homeless. I go with like my church, you hear me? And we donate to the homeless. We have drives and shit. So like I see this shit firsthand, dog. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Some of these people are coming in line at the drive. Whatever you doing, you working trying to help them, give them something. And these people are try to spit on you or try to fight you. Yeah, all type of stuff. And then they got the ones that's really appreciative, the ones that come and they tell you thank you 5, 6 times because they really mean it. Without what's going on right there, they wouldn't have had no food. They wouldn't have had no blankets. They wouldn't have had nothing. They wouldn't have been able to have no hygiene. You hear me? Like I see this shit firsthand, dog. And then they got a lot of people that's abusing it. Like you, man, to talk to people in tents. People say that they leave their homes and live in tents because it's cheaper. right? They say they get to do what they want with their money. And these are people that's getting checks on like the 1st and the 15th and the 3rd and the 7th and whatever days they get them, you know, but they getting checks, 13, 14, $1,700. But they not willing to pay what it costs. Man, living in LA, man, the average apartment, man, if you want a one like a studio apartment and some raggedy shit, like in the middle of the hood, you gonna pay $1,000 for like 200 square feet. You gonna pay $1,000 a month. If you want some nice shit, if you want to live comfortable, you want to be in luxury, man, you gonna pay anywhere from up to 35 to 6, 7, 8, 9,000 a month, depending on the bedrooms and shit too. But for some 1 bedroom shit, you can pay 5, 6,000 for some not really luxury. I'm talking about top floor shit, some just comfortable shit, luxurious shit. But it's not top shelf though. You want top shelf, man. You got people out here paying 10K a month. They got people pay 15K. They got niggas paying 30K. Like this is levels to this shit for real. Like when you live in a place like this, like the cost of living is just extremely high, and it's a lot of money out here, so they know you're gonna pay it. And the average person got to take crumbs for like all of what they work. Because if a person getting a check of $1,700 a month, right, and he got to pay $1,500 on rent for just to be in a little small cooped up space where you only got enough room to put a laundry, a washer and dryer in that bitch. What you think he gonna do? Like, bitch, I go live in a tent. Now I can buy me some shoes. Then most of them buying dope and crack and fentanyl. If you go look at my page, you will see the harsh reality of what the homeless population really look like. Go look at this page. Go look at our page, Los Angeles Street Vlogs, in the shorts. You will see what the harsh reality of the homeless population in downtown Los Angeles and all the surrounding areas really look like. I'm trying to tell you, listen, like it is a horrible thing. But then it becomes, once you get to know it and the reality of it, it becomes a disgusting, filthy thing. Because a lot of these people are taking advantage of the homeless population. They're not even homeless. There's people who have apartments who go down to Skid Row and all the little places with the tent encampments and go sell drugs out of the tents and then pack up and this. Listen, it's a whole thing that is meant to bring awareness, man. That's why I feel like we need to clean up the streets. Because you don't clean up the streets, you just allowing all these extra activities to happen. What about the little kids? What about the children? What about the children that gotta walk the streets and see all this activity, all this illegal activity taking place in broad daylight? Man, here in Los Angeles, there's naked people, users, everything out on the street as soon as you walk out there. Man, I'm trying to tell you, dog, like, hey, but y'all want to say something else?
I was gonna ask you, do you see a difference in? I get homeless being without a home, but do you see a difference in the people that's choosing, that's not necessarily down on their luck, but they choosing just not to live in a building to save money? Do you see a difference between them being homeless and an actual person that just can't get right?
Yeah, I see a difference. I feel like the ones that's choosing to be out there need to be kicked in their ass by all means. On GTA, they need to be kicked in their ass. On
Well, let
GTA,
me ask
y'all,
you
I
this.
mean, excuse my
They was
language,
talking
but
about
that's the truth.
Trump starting a law or making a law to where he was gonna make homelessness illegal. Like, would you agree with that, or you think that's
I think the law already passed. I think the law already passed, man. Look, the homeless problem is so bad in LA. You hear me? These people, these homeless people, not the ones that's really homeless, that's having a hard time. I'm talking about the ones that's out there just wanting to be out there. These people are going to store and walk out with $800 worth of stuff because the law used to be long as it ain't $1,000, they can't do nothing there. The security not allowed to put their hands on them. You know what I mean? But they just passed the law to where these people can stop this, man. These people steal millions of dollars worth of In Los Angeles, the stores are losing millions of dollars worth of merchandise in a month span, monthly. Like it's horrible, man. If a homeless addict hits you, you're not allowed to hit them back. If you hit them back, you're going to jail. You're not allowed to stop them from hitting you and defend yourself. You're gonna go to jail. Like you don't see the wrong in that. And then here you got a job. They're gonna take a tax for homelessness out of your check, like taxes. You hear me? Come on, dog. Y'all
Now,
got
why
something
would
left in it?
anybody want to live in that type of society? I'm just talking shit. I mean, I'm just, you know. But nah, like I said, you basically proved my point though. It's a necessity at the end of the day because people don't take advantage of their life or their opportunities. They dwindle off and think life is all good and gold, like a bad time won't come. See, that's what I understand and learn. That's why it's always a plan B and C. And even when they go wrong, you gotta adapt to what's going on. These laws and everything got a loophole. If Trump ain't show us nothing, he showed us how to read the loopholes and how to benefit from them. He exposed the loopholes and how to come up on them. That's why they targeting Trump so damn bad because they feel like he didn't gave the secrets to the game up. But when it comes to the homeless, yeah, at the end of the day, it is sad. But there's a handful of people that really didn't have a chance in life, but the majority did. You know, the percentage is very lower on the people that didn't really have a chance. And this scenario will be considered, to your point, the real homeless that's down on their luck and just versus the people that's just out there because they don't want to be responsible. Want an easier way of life, or the people that's out there benefiting off the people that really don't have nothing, giving them a harder time in life. It's like the game, but we gotta understand there's levels to life. You don't want to be so comfortable in your position so fast when you spending your money and you don't even understand where you spending it at. You making all this money, but where is it going? What are you seeing? Like you just surviving. We all damn near homeless at the end of the day if you want to be real. We all knocking on one paycheck from being homeless. The majority of society is only a percentage that's really secured and laid back. But the at least 80%, 75% of society one check away from being homeless than damn selves. And I feel it's crazy they taxing y'all for the problem that they bring to society. Because of the way y'all politics run, this gotta go up. So you make it harder for me to survive in this economy. So now I got a result to this. And now you put taxes on the people that's doing all they can to survive in the economy to deal with that. And y'all not even doing nothing to help them. It's still churches and these little programs getting together to look out for these folks. What you taxing me for? But that's all I got on that. That's my take.
Man, bet, man. Look, we're gonna move on. Man, look, YG and Munchie B came up in Drakeo case. It was a red rum case, you hear me? What you think about that, Jay? JC, what you think about that?
Specifics on it, like what were they bought up for?
Nah, they were just implicated somehow in the Drakeo the Ruler red rum case. I mean, what you think about them two being I don't really know the details yet. I ain't looking to it. But I mean, with the situation, what you think about them being tied into it though?
I think son, it's crazy that millionaires, you know what I'm saying, is even involving themselves in this. And I kind of uh think it's kind of like you know, with the young Dirk, the young thug, you know what I'm saying? You trying to play up to this street image to where you can sell more records. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's really all about an image that you're trying to uphold, so you can sell more records. And for a millionaire to put itself in a position where you can lose everything is like, how much do you actually care about the opportunity that God is giving you to make it out the hood? You know what I'm saying? And how much do you really care about your family? Like, you know, Dirk had a chance to set up an entire his generations after him to where they could be living lavish. You know what I'm saying? But you threw all of that away because the opinions of strangers. You know, at the end of the day, once you make enough money to where you moving out the hood and you can create generational wealth, you need to leave that type of stuff behind. And I remember Gillian Wallow was interviewing Dirk, and Wallow was like, you know, for him to become successful, he had to forgive his brother's killer. You know what I'm saying? And because he forgave his brother's killer, he was able to help his brother's daughter go to college and pay for her car and be there for his mama and everything. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, it's like, what's really going on with these and it's mainly rappers. Like, what's going on to where y'all feel like y'all still gotta contribute to crime when you're making enough money to where you don't have to worry about that, you know?
It's just another tactic to, like I just said in the last topic. Another one more reason for us, one paycheck away from being homeless ourselves. You feel me? These folks find ways to appeal to the lower class to keep the lower class as the lower class. We want to be there so bad, but we don't have the patience to get where we're going first to progress to that way of life. We just want to skip to it. Like generational wealth is a good thing, but when a corrupted soul come about that generational wealth, it's not good for nobody. You know what I'm saying? The Dirk was involved in some things he ain't had no business. He should, Rollo did what he should have did. He did what he had to do to get to the next, level. Forgiveness is the key. And to order to really forgive, you gotta really let go. He was able to do that. Why? Because he didn't want the back in blood mindset. If we all could be like that, the world would be a better place. And maybe all this wouldn't be what it is. But, you know, life is levels, man. Life is levels, brother. And there's a lot going on, and everybody want to be to the top. Just accept where you at and allow yourself to progress to where you're going. Don't rush the process because you're gonna stumble. But yeah, that's what I got on that.
Feel like we do is too, man. Got the neighborhood, man. Even if you have a problem, man, you might get upset, you might get cool, but then at some point, get your head down, head. And even if you do that, brother, ain't you old enough to know better? So why would you do it to where you would get brought up on charges or whatever the case is? If you in the streets, if you in the streets and that's how you living. I know a lot of people that's the only way to eat. They don't know no other way. They never learned no other way. They never thought about no other way. All they ever, man, I know some people that don't know nothing but the dirt. They don't know nothing but what's going on within they 5, 6 blocks of their neighborhood. Other than that, they not going visit nowhere. They not going nowhere. They thugging. That's what they doing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it can go all kind of ways, dog. You can look at it from buku different angles. You know what I mean? I know them dudes that's what they gotta do. That's all they got. That's all you got. How you gonna hate on them? You know what I'm saying? But then you gotta think about the people who don't live like that. That ain't their lifestyle. I don't feel like you should bring that to people who that ain't their lifestyle. Like if you a gangster, don't approach no square like no gangster. You know that man like that, dog. You know what I'm saying? But that goes. I'm gonna go back to what the topic is. I feel like they stupid. Hey, you stupid. Why you beefing? You beefing with a nigga and you M's up. Now, if they would have did something that crossed the line, I understand it completely. That's why I say it depending on how you gonna look at it. If you was ever in the streets, then you know sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes either you or them. So I gotta keep it real myself and leave that option on the table because I know how that be. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think what y'all saying?
I
You know
really
what you
feel
should
like
do.
that was the situation going bad though. Like the whole dice game, and yeah, I feel like they really were just trying to go with their move on him, and dude wasn't going for that. Dude was from Chicago. Wait, we talking about? Oh no, not that. They dude was from LA. I'm thinking about Duke the Jeweler. My bad, Ronick. But motherfucker, people like that ain't going for certain things, man. So you just gonna have to, and in the game, I feel them rituals is real. They y'all gotta involve yourself in some type of activity that advance to the next lifestyle. Like that rich and fame ain't just rapping. Man, the game ain't drop a real album or song in years, and if he did, it ain't nothing like it was. Not saying he fell off, it's just the time has changed. You was this class of rapper. Now you this class. It's time for the young people to take over because that's the game now. The young people don't want to listen to the Snoops and the games and the people we grew up to know who the music game was. It's a new wave. These folks don't want to let go. But overall I just feel it was just a setup. Somebody just had to fold at the end of the day. You always let a rat in the game and the rat gonna tell it all. But yeah, in my opinion.
JC, what you think? Hey, well, boom, look,
Mhm.
we're gonna move on to the next topic. You hear me?
But you can hear
How
me?
do you feel about podcasting? Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna raise a question to y'all about, do y'all think it's right for successful rappers to still be rapping about hood stuff when that's no longer their life? Like if you 10 years successful in the game, you M's up, should you still be rapping about selling drugs on the corner or shooting people when you know that's not what you're doing no more?
I mean, if it don't matter if you ain't doing it no more, you can still tell your story. I mean, especially if trauma, mental illness all the time. Trauma is real. Now, mental illness, I think that's learned behavior for some people. For some people, for how popular it has become, mental illness is a learned behavior. Now, some people have real diagnosed mental illness. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. You hear me? Mental illness is very real, but nowadays I know and people be overusing. I do feel like, all right, boom, look, I'm gonna just go, I'm gonna just say it. And I deal with it right away. Years for it to come out, but that's the point that I'm trying to make. People gonna self that.
But man, Ellie, you got something else to say on that?
Nah, I'm back, my bad. So boom, yeah. So look, people gonna self-diagnose themselves. You hear me? Man, mental illness is real, but these days people using loosely. Anyway, if you go through something, so if you are artist, you might if you are artist about it later in life. So if you a rapper, don't convince nobody else to do it. Yeah, that's what I said. Y'all good? All right, bet. How do you feel about podcasting slash? What I sound better? My audio? Yeah,
Still static, still audio.
better now.
Oh sure.
Man, man, I'm good. I'm good now.
No sure. Sound the same.
Hey, y'all just move on, just move on.
Yeah, you about to say, how do you feel about podcasting slash YouTube? And shit, I feel like depending on the content you choose to bring to the surface, that's all determined on to me. If it's just for the good or the bad, man. If you're gonna use it for bad, then no, don't use it for extortion. You know what I'm saying? But if you bringing awareness or promoting something positive in that nature, then by all means, if you showing people how to get fit, if you showing people different ways of understanding things or how to fix something, by all means, that's normal things, common things people need in life. But like as far as manipulation and games, nah, I don't feel like that's good podcasters nor YouTubers. Extortion, I don't feel like it's necessary. It's too much other content you could provide. It's too much other achievements and accomplishments and goals people that met in life that you can bring awareness to or start pushing other people to influence other people to do and things of that nature. But for the good, yeah. For the bad, no, no YouTube, no podcasting, in my opinion.
Agree with that. Like you said, it's a double-edged sword. So if you're using it for a positive, it's so much stuff you can use a podcast for, from educational purposes to, enlightening people or just entertaining people. You know what I'm saying? People especially like truck drivers that drive long distances, listening to a podcast sometimes kill time. And if you actually contribute in a positive way, I think it's good. But like you say, it's also some people that contribute in a bad way to where, yeah, I don't agree with it. And using the a podcast to extort people, especially people that's helpless or whatnot, yeah, I think that's wrong. But if you trying to shed light on something and you doing something that's making a positive impact on people's life, then I think that's something good.
Well, I feel like it's an income. I feel like it's a lane. Same way a person will pick up let's say mowing lawn, cutting grass as a side business. Person to pick up a camera as making content as a side business. Same way a woman might go in her kitchen and cook as a side business and sell plates out of her home. Pick up a camera, make content as a side business. Now, what you choose to do with it, it kind of subjective. But now, if you crossing the line and committing crimes while doing it, now that's where you got to stop. That's the only way I feel like you're going too far is if you cross the line and you start committing crimes and you doing all type of other stuff, or even if you was doing something that's morally not right. You know what I'm saying? If you just don't got no ethic behind your content, then yeah, I mean that's not right. But what would you consider? What would you as the bad content you say that is?
You there for me? I heard you say, what would you consider?
I say, what would be the bad content?
Okay, I think a person that's influencing people to do crime, or you know, putting out fake news to make folks believe a certain type of thing, to where somebody could say you're doing something that you're not doing, that make the public feel like they need to do something about it, and come to find out it's a lie. uh but in a positive one is something that I feel like impacting people to where they actually feel good that you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that's actually thankful for what you, like a I Show Speed. Like he actually brings positivity to folks, and he entertaining us. And he's showing the youth that you don't have to be streets or commit crimes to actually become successful. He's like a role model that young folks can look up to and older folks can be proud of, versus a person like a Charleston White, to where you got to watch your shoulder everywhere you go. You got to be looking behind your back because somebody want to do you something. You know what I'm saying? Even though Charleston White, he have good messages at times, but it's the trolling thing when he play that character, when he say stuff that he don't even really mean, just to get a rise out of folks, just for the views, just for the money. Like, I think that's kind of like the wrong route.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so y'all good with that, or y'all want to say something else?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, bet we're gonna move on to our sports for the day. You hear me? And we're gonna talk about some NFL trade drama and extensions. You hear me? So Tagovailoa, new deal with the Dolphins. He secured a 212.4 million 4-year contract. CD Lamb holds out, but he gonna be charged 50K every day he misses training. You hear me? Devontae Adams trade rumors. Uh, they speculating that he'll be traded to the Jets. I don't know. That might be good, but CD Lamb need to go ahead and jump back in the game. I don't know what he doing. Real talk. And Tua, man, Tua always been a good player. I ain't even gonna cap. Yeah, Tua been a good player, no cap. He gonna do his thing. I don't think he's still in his prime. Well, maybe. I don't know. I ain't gonna say that. What y'all think? What you think, Boo?
I mean, shit. I don't know. When it comes down to it, it's still a business. So I feel like some strings being pulled somewhere, people playing the role, somebody might be getting blackballed somewhere. Cause there's a lot of reports where these players have the fake injuries for whatever reason within their contract. Like, so, there's a lot going on when it comes to them sports, because them sports is politics at the end of the day, man. It's about money, 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 money. Most views, most seats in the stadium, most favorite players, most favorite team. There's so many categories. So on my personal take, I mean, I know it ain't directly on the topic, but on my personal take, I'm viewing it from an overall spectrum. It's just business, man. They find a way to manipulate business right in front of us, and them folks can't really speak out for themselves. You know, like they truly want to. It go against their contract and their way of living. So they forced to accept whatever rules and regulations they choose to throw to the public, truth or not. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my take on that.
Well, JC, what you think about it?
Uh, I feel the same way Boot Boy just said, and I also wanted to add that Jalen Carter from the Philly Eagles, he got a 4-year contract for $152 million with an extension worth up to $160 million, and it includes $106 million guaranteed, and that's making him the highest paid defensive tackle in NFL history.
Man, shout out my boy Jalen. Man, I think CD tripping though that they charging him 50K a day that he missed training though. No cap. I think CD tripping, boy. You need to make up your mind and go back to work. Other than that, dog.
It be bigger than that though. Think about Kaepernick when he took that knee. Think about, you know what I'm saying? Like these players be tired of being treated like chess pieces. And it's not that, oh, you paying me to do all this. It's like at the end of the day, I'm still seeing how y'all are talking to us, how y'all treating us, how y'all expect this out of us, but y'all messing over us. Look what Antonio Brown did when it was all said and done. He walked off the field, he took his uniform off and left. Like on game in the middle of the game. Like these players be tired of these games that money don't be worth the way
Nah,
y'all
you got
treat 'em.
Antonio Brown messed up, dog. That was at the bottom line of that wasn't about no politics and football. That was just because he wasn't getting the ball like he wanted. That's all it was. He went to Belichick them to throw. Nah, that wasn't Belichick. Where he was, and yeah, he was in New England. Yeah, he told Belichick them that he wanted the ball more. You know, Belichick got a playbook, man. You got to follow rules.
I mean that's true, but look what it cost you. A valuable player that could have got you somewhere. At the end of the day, though, it's like I said, it's politics. Why he not throwing him the ball when Antonio Brown was one of the top receivers at the time? Why is you deflecting that man game? Why you trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, why you brought me here if this is what you chose to do? Put me on the
Football got
shelf.
a format. Football got a format, dog. You got to play by playbook. Belichick has
I,
always been
I,
a playbook coach.
I understand that, but why bring me here if you weren't choosing to utilize me when I'm receiving all these yards from my hands? I am a catcher and a go getter. I'm showing y'all this team after team, time after time, play after play. This is what I do. I'm a receiver. But you bring me to a team that's not built for receivers. Don't shelf me when I'm talented like this. It'd have been the same thing if Tom Brady was put in a position to where he couldn't shine his shine, being as great as he was in his position. Michael Vick the same way. When they put him through what they put him through. You know what I'm
All
saying? It's like
right,
certain players gotta go through certain things to be that man, while other players get get the lift, the easy boost, the you got it, the just do this. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Eli's and the Peyton. I mean Eli and Peyton, the Manning brothers. Look at Sean. Look at all these great quarterbacks. They made great for their sport, but our quarterbacks that didn't get much recognition at the end of their career. It was a struggle, like they do with our rappers, like they do with our actors, like they do with our musicians. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, it's the game. And once you don't comply with the rules, you fall off.
Like what you said, they attributed the NFL to modern day slavery. 90% of the players is all black, but you don't have no black owners, no a little bit of black coaches. You know what I'm saying? And to Boot Boy's point, it's kind of like you trying to make certain people stagnant to where they can't shine as much, to where it's like they worthless. You know what I'm saying? If we'd have made it to where Antonio Brown was catching more, his jersey might have been selling too much. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta pigeonhole him. But a person like Tom Brady, let him shine and become the GOAT. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. Shit, no, we ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna let y'all downplay. Tom Brady is a fucking awesome player. No,
No,
you
but I'm
can't take
saying,
nothing from
imagine if
Tom, dog.
imagine
Nah.
if they pigeonhole
Hey,
Tom
you
Brady like
gotta
how
look
they
at, hey,
doing
but when you
some of the
looking
black
at
people.
trades, when you looking at trades and you looking at the NFL and the NBA, you gotta look at it for the sport. The politics, those people choosing to go through that. The NBA made LeBron $1 billion man. Michael Jordan, look at Michael Jordan. Like they black people got all the what white person you know that played basketball that's bigger than Michael Jordan? Name ring more than Michael Jordan. What white man you know got a shoe sell more than Michael Jordan? We thinking from an old time existence. These days, nigga, you can get out there and go get whatever you want to get, long as you work for it.
No, I'm saying to the point to where you were saying Antonio Brown, he just they wasn't throwing him the ball as much as he wanted to. If they was playing around his his benefit or how good he was to the team, that would make him too valuable. I think what like Boo Boy was saying.
Wait, time out. Answer me this. If they would do that to Antonio Brown, why they didn't do that to Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Deion Branch, all these niggas?
Right, well, I'm saying
You-
Pacific teams, like how you said, old boy play by the rule book or
Deion
whatever.
Branch was on. Deion Branch was on. Randy Moss, Deion Branch was on the Patriots. They shined their ass off. Talk to me. Oh, all right. Well, look, we'll go ahead and move on to the next one, dog. Man, that's my dog, Tom Brady, man. Look, I watch sports. I ain't gonna lie, it is a political, interest in sports, but I watch sports for the sport, the actual event that's taking place. I played sports back in school. It was awesome, dog. And I felt like I could have chased it or whatever. I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel like that. But whenever you play sports, when you wake up in the morning and you grab them cleats, you grab that duffel bag with them shoes in it, you're all the only you're so that's how I look at sports when people play sports. The politics in it, I don't think the politics got nothing to do with what's being played on the field. Them dudes go out there and try to get it. If you watch the game, you will see the nigga that's trying the hardest is the one that's gonna win. Like it's real
I'm
competition. They not trying
y'all
to give it
talking about
away.
two different
But
things. Like I
that's
think
not
Boot Boy
that's
was talking about the politics of the game, and you talking about the actual game from the players' experience.
Nah, man, that's what we was going for. But look, let's go ahead and get this last one out the way. You hear me? Man, this the entertainment portion. Our favorite album of all time. JC, what you think?
So and that's kind of hard for me. I listen to a lot of music, and I know they got a bunch of classic albums. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't just choose one, but just to if I could rattle a couple off. LA.
Yeah. Go ahead, do your thing. Do your thing.
Okay. Lauren Hill, Miseducation. That's covered it as one of the best albums ever made. Uh, 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. Zero, Let the Truth Be Told. Lil Wayne, Carter 2 and 3. Drake, So Far Gone.
Okay. Boo boy, what you thinking?
I mean greatest album of all time. I don't necessarily say I have one, but if I had to pick one, um, I would probably go with like Zero, Crack, or cocaine. In that era that was a whole different beast right there, like favorite. But I mean, really, it's any. Well, damn near any Kevin Gates album and any Zero album, I'll sit there and let the whole CD play. That them right there, yeah, they got a different type of message from me. But yeah, probably Zero, Crack, or cocaine.
Jay, you there? You want to say you got it? Oh, I bet. Well, look, I'm gonna give mine, man. Hey, look, my favorite all-time album, 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. Man, it's a no-brainer. If you want a couple honorable mentions, man, I say that All Eyes on Me, that Pac, but I'm gonna put that Biggie, that Life After Death, and that Ready to Die. Yeah, Ready to Die, that Life After Death. That was, hey, look, by the way, fun fact, that was Biggie Smalls' only 2 albums. You know what I mean? And they still rank him up there with Tupac over 2,000 songs. That mean a whole lot to a nigga like me because I care about the numbers. You know what I mean? So look, I'm gonna say that, man. Anybody got something they want to say before we get out of here?
That was just to have somebody to go up against Tupac. It's always a GOAT debate. If Pac would have did it by himself, it wouldn't have been nothing. But in that era, Pac and Big had the most potential out of those that was pushing. So I mean, it's just like comparing it to basketball at the end of the day or football. Like longevity determine greatness. Just like Michael. Michael put in 40, 50 years of his life to the game and developed greatness as his legacy gave. LeBron, 23, 24 years, 25, however long he pushed, greatness. Jordan, greatness, like for what they did to the game. But yeah, nah, I don't see, you know, Big being one of them ones in my book. He flow, he nice, he good, but they cut his water short on some whole other. They didn't let the great be great. They shied him of it. Now, not
Right,
saying what he
right.
did wasn't great, but they shied him from what he really had to show, and Pac as well. But they don't have longevity for me to consider them as greats compared to somebody like Lil Wayne, Zero, these people that put longevity in the game, 40, 50 albums, mixtapes, and free features and other, man, that's a whole different dedication to it. So
Okay. Man, for sure, man. So man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the night. That was the end of our Controversial Conversations podcast, episode 10. Man, look, y'all, don't forget to like. If you ain't subscribed, go subscribe. You hear me? You can tune in every night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. You hear me? Hey, we appreciate y'all for being here. And until next time, y'all be cool.